Hey everybody, it's Cooking with Gracie Love with yours truly, Gracie Love. And today I have a very special treat. So one of my neighbors, very big fan of the cooking series, and she wanted me to put together for her some fried ribs. And I've never had fried ribs. I always do those slow crock pot ribs where they're tender, falling off the bone. So when she brought this to me, I was more than excited because I love ribs. Who doesn't love ribs? And who doesn't love anything fried, right? So I told her, of course, I'll whip you some up and bring you some down. So that's what we're going to do today. We are going to make some fried ribs, you guys. And it's so simple. I know the ribs are a little pricey, but you can go to different places and find some that are right for you, okay? So I have some pork ribs that I got cut up, and the easy way to cut your ribs is by the bone. So you'll take your rib and you'll just cut it down wherever that bone is. That's the simplest way to get through those racks of ribs. You can also use beef, whatever it is you want to use, okay? So like I said, I cut mine up, all right, and then I rinsed them off, of course, all right, and then we're gonna get them seasoned up, all right? So I'm just gonna use my basic seasonings. If you want to use a seasoned flour, you could do that as well, and that'll save you so much time. I would typically use a seasoned flour when you guys see me frying stuff. I'm usually already using a flour that's seasoning. We don't have that today, so that's all right. So let me show you how you can get that same vibe and that same feel. So you just want to use your seasoning salt, whatever seasoning salt that is for you. You're going to hit it with that. I'm going to use some paprika as well on mine. That's totally optional for you, but I like to use paprika. Everybody likes to do it for the color, not so much flavor. That's more of like the chili or the cayenne if you want to get that color with that heat. But I'm going to do a little bit of crushed peppers, just because I do want a little bit of heat in that, like a little Cajun feel. And you can also just use a Cajun seasoning as well. Gonna hit it with some garlic salt, onion powder. And you have to be careful when you're using the salts and the powders because it's going to be really salty. So if I'm using seasoned salt and then I'm using the garlic salt, that's a lot of salt. You're going to get a lot of salt. So you want to be careful using the salts versus the powders, okay? And my favorite thing, you guys know, the accent. All right. So now that we've got that seasoned up, I'm going to toss it so it's nice. Ooh, he just jumped right out of the bowl. That's crazy. Haha. So I'm just going to toss it so that way that it's coated on both sides. If you need to hit it again with the seasoning so it's coated, go ahead and do that. But I've got mine heavy on the front so that way I could toss it like I'm doing right now. Okay. So now that I got my seasonings on there, I want to do something special, okay? I want to put some mustard on it, okay? I know you're like, what? But that mustard is not only going to help with the flavor, it's going to help with the moistness and keeping that meat nice and moist when you fry it so you don't get no dry meat. And shake your mustard because it's going to be all like watery and gross. Does that happen to you guys, or is that just my type of mustard? So put that mustard on there and toss it up. Don't be scared. Make sure that it's coated really good. Now if you want to get a real good depth of flavor, you would want to let these marinate, okay? 30 minutes, you could do it overnight, whatever, but you know, minimum 30 minutes in the refrigerator. Let these marinate to really let that flavor of that mustard really soak into your ribs. But it's okay, we're not doing that today. You're still going to get that same effect if you're just throwing these together really quickly. That's all right. But if you have time to pre-prep, that is what you would want to do, okay? So now we got these nice and coated with our mustard. I'm going to give my hands a little quick rinse. And now we're going to add the flour on there, okay? Again, you can use already seasoned flour. That'll save you so much time. But if you can't find that, don't worry about it, because it is kind of hard to find. Don't worry about it. Just season it up just like how I showed you how to do, okay? It's perfectly fine, all right? Don't worry about it. So I'm going to add my flour, regular all-purpose flour, nothing special, nothing fancy, okay? And pour it right on there. You could use a Ziploc bag as well, and you could add all your seasonings into that Ziploc bag with your flour. Then you could toss the mustard in a bowl, put the mustard on your ribs, and then put your ribs in there if you want to let them marinate and soak, or not soak, but marinate for that 30 minutes or however long you're going to let them marinate with that mustard. That's a simple trick too, easy cleanup. And two, when you're done, you can zip that bag up. If you use a Ziploc bag, you zip that bag up. You can save that seasoned flour for another time, okay? So there's that. We're gonna coat them ribs real good in there. Now with the flour, we're gonna let it coat and just sit in that flour. We're gonna give that 5 minutes, okay? Because we want that to really coat, because we have that mustard on there. We want to make sure that that's really on those ribs, so everything is getting nice and crispy, okay? You really want that fried, that GBD, baby. That's how you get that GBD. So make sure that they're coated really, really good. And these aren't big pieces, so it's not difficult. But again, it depends on what kind of ribs you use. You could definitely do it one at a time and then toss it, whatever makes it easy for you. Like I said, you can put it in a Ziploc bag, toss them all up. I typically like to do that, put it in a bag and then shake it all up. And then, like I said, I can, it's easy storage if I want to save that seasoned flour for another use. Did your parents like have tubs with flour in it? My mom had that. She had a flour tub, and you could go and you could put the, get some flour and season the meat or whatever. That was some of the things that my mom had with the, the little can for the spaghetti as well, the dried pasta. She had different little containers for that, and different containers for the oil after she fried. I don't know if y'all parents was like that about saving things and reusing. So they are coated really, really good. That's what you want it to look like once you put that flour on there. So just give it 5 minutes, and then you'll go ahead and put it in the oil, which is good timing. That lets your oil heat up, okay? All right, it's been 5 minutes. So now we are going to go ahead and get these babies in the grease. My grease is hot and ready, baby, just like a Little Caesars pizza. And I'm going to put it in there. And I'm going to let them fry up for about 10 minutes, okay? Want them to be real nice and GBD, right? Golden brown and delicious. Boom. So now we'll give those 10 minutes to fry up real nice, and I'll package them up for my neighbor. All right, so now my ribs have been cooking for about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out of this grease. Oh, baby. Perfect. That looks so nice. Go. Yes, that is how you fry some ribs, baby. And simple little recipe. Again, ribs are pricey, but it ain't hard to fry up some ribs, baby. Look at that. That is GBD. Oh, she's gonna love this. And I just want you guys to see one of these. They're hot, but I just want you to see how still tender it is. Woo, baby, that's hot. Can you guys see how still tender that is? That's fantastic. Okay, let me package these so I don't eat her ribs, because, whoo, boy, I want to tear these up. and I'm gonna send these over to her, and she's gonna be so happy. My top is somewhere, I'll find it, but fried ribs, you guys, go ahead, give them a try. Let me know what you think about it, and we'll see you next time right here on Cooking with Gracie Love. Oh, make sure you guys get your copy of Quick Fix Meals on Amazon, and also make sure you guys stay tuned for the new single coming out featuring Red Vegas. Until next time, guys, I'm your girl, Gracie Love.